About 500 kilometers north of Tokyo is Japan's largest non-island prefecture, Iwate. It has the second lowest population density in the country. As with many regions far beyond Japan's metropolis, cars are a necessity. Distances between towns are especially far, and often winding mountain roads are the only option. It's a stark contrast to the Tokyo lifestyle, where the prompt, efficient trains and subway lines generate the pulse of the city. Just under 3 hours outside of Tokyo via bullet train, our introduction to the prefecture begins with a history lesson and some natural scenery at Gorge near Ichinoseki. 2 kilometers of the gorge are open to the public via boat tour. In winter, during our visit, the boats feature a kotatsu in the middle, a blanketed table with a heating element underneath.
芸備系ね、境内15床ね、ございます。これから船の方はね、これでも上流に登っていきます。川登りね、していきます。
As the boat meanders upstream, one boatman acts as tour guide and another at the back steers the rig with a long pole. Visitors usually get to enjoy a seasonal refreshment, tea in spring and a local soup in winter.
で、一回ね、今度お客様に船を降りてもらってね、今度は散策にてね、観光してもらいます。散策時間は20分になってますね。で、帰り、この船まで戻ってきてもらってね。
We're at the deepest part of the gorge right now, or the furthest that you can go in terms of an access point. So this is like the biggest portion of the gorge. It's 124 meters tall. And over there, if you look over there, there's a hole in the wall where guests or visitors can throw rocks or throw clay pieces. They say that if you make it inside the hole, you'll get some good luck, but it's supposed to be pretty tough to do. So we have to choose some of these. And these have all like, wow, they have a bunch of different languages here actually, but in English they've called it balls of luck.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's not wrong, you know?
Well, yeah.
So we can choose kanji, our favorite kanji. So these are, I guess these are just clay rocks. They're imprinted with different kanji. This one means love. This one means luck. Let's see, what's another one here? This one, oh, there's another luck one. I guess they're kind of mixed together. Here's one, this one means like bonds, I guess, or like connections. I guess is a good translation for that one. So let's choose 5. They are only 100 yen. 100 yen, that's like $1 for 5. What a deal. So I'll choose 5.
What do you think you'll need?
How many do I think I'll need before I make it or before I get frustrated?
Well, let's just assume you're going to make it.
Oh, okay.
How many?
You're very optimistic. Okay, well, let's start with 5 and then we'll see how we go. What do you think are the, I wonder if they keep official statistics on success rates.
Pitching averages. And
Pitching average, yeah, something tells me it's not great. So we have to get it in that hole. Are you gonna try this? So I'll go down here. My hands are so cold. Yeah. Oh, that looks really hard. Okay. I don't know. Confidence levels are not high. Hi. Oh, not even. One more time. Oh. Short.
I'm getting cake tonight.
Oh.
Can't say we didn't try. While the gorge is a nice, scenic way to spend an hour or so and to give your throwing arm a decent workout, we're here to learn more about the history of the location. And Kanno-san, a boat guide who kindly spoke with us, has all kinds of interesting stories to share. I'd read that the area was a kind of safe haven for fallen soldiers in war, among many other things, so I was excited to ask him all my questions.
負けた人たちがここに集まったっていう話を読んだんですが、それって本当ですか？
まあ戦争戦いで敗れた人たちも隠れた場所はあるはずですよね。身を潜めてね、追われてきた 源の方々です。源
はい
源平合戦って言いますもんね。源の方々が、
はい
藤原さんをこう倒したっていうかね。
はい
え
へえ
だから義経もその時亡くなったし、
はい
話ではね、
はい
弁慶っていう人も義経弁慶っていう有名な
はい
武将がいたんですけど、
はい
その人たちが亡くなったし、
はい
藤原の家もそこで亡くなって、
はい
でも残った人は隠れて、助かった人は隠れたと思いますけどね。
へえこの辺ですかね。
この辺っていうか、この山の方ね、結構ひっそりとしているんで、
はい
静かで
はい
隠れるにはいい場所だと思いますけどね。
そうですね。
He explains the gorge has natural concert hall-like qualities, which he demonstrates by singing to us.
さいさいさいきよき流れのさてつの川にやんさのえ船を浮かべてさをさせば曇りがちなる心の空もに
The echoes of Kanno-san's singing still reverberating in our minds, we leave the gorge area and depart for Tono, a city in central Iwate, where storytelling is to be the focus. With a population of around 25,000 and a train station that averages 300 or so passengers per day, Tono is a small rural town. Its claim to fame, however, is its legends. Tono Monogatari is a collection of Japanese legends that informs the stories told throughout Japan, much in the way the folktales compiled by the Brothers Grimm did for many other countries. The storytelling tradition continues in Tono today at Denshoen, a history park near the city center. The park is composed of a series of buildings that date back to around the late 1700s. Figures like the kappa, a common water goblin in Japanese folklore, are scattered throughout the grounds, and visitors can even stop in for a bite of local food before exploring. Of course, we're happy to taste test hitsumi, a light chicken broth-based soup. The name of the dish comes from the word hitsumu, the Iwate dialect's verb for pulling and tearing, the action which produces the large, papery noodles used in the soup. It's also a good opportunity for us to reflect a bit on what we've seen so far and to imagine what's coming next.
This place has everything you need to know, apparently, about Iwate's history and culture, particularly its folklore, legends, and horse connections, and the sorts of buildings that people used, the ways that they write wishes and say prayers and stuff like that, historically. They have all of that here. Can you imagine being a construction guy? It's just dumped snow, 10 centimeters of snow overnight, and you have to go outside and construct a building.
Wasn't even, no snow yesterday. And then snow. How about the dudes singing from yesterday?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah?
Oh, you know what else I found out?
What?
That there was the kotatsu inside the boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know locals call that specific arrangement a boat tatsu?
Get out.
That's not true. 15. Okay, we have 30 minutes till story time starts. I wonder what she's gonna tell us. She's got to have a few stories up her sleeve.
Right.
You know, she's not just going to show up and be like, and now we will hear. This is a retelling of the movie Inception.
Oh yeah.
She could totally, she could totally just mess with us. She'd be like, I'll tell you a traditional tale. And we'd be like, okay, great, we're so excited. She could just make up some stuff if she wanted to, and we'd be like, great.
Meet Tachibana-san. A straightforward Tono local with a wealth of knowledge, she's here to show us how storytelling should be done, and to give us some background on local legends and history. The story we're most interested in hearing from her is called Oshira-sama. It's a legend about a girl who loved her horse so much it enraged her father. The story has special significance in Iwate because of the prefecture's long history of living and working alongside horses. Tachibana-san knows it all and is a fountain of information.
お白様も中国には。
あ、そうなんですか。知らなかった。
お白様はね、4世紀だっけな。メソポタミア文明、
はい、
世界四大文明の一つから出た話だって。
へえ、知らなかった。
遠野の昔話、はい、遠野独自の味が加えられてるんだけれど、はい、世界を駆け巡った話が昔話だから。赤ずきんちゃん、シンデレラ、白雪姫、みんな昔話。
ああ、そうなんですか。あ、じゃあいろんな、なんていうかな、つながりっていうか、なんかありますよね。
それにそこの国とか土地の考え方とかがこう入ってって、はい、でここの遠野に馴染んだ話がずっとこう伝えられる。
Today, we're meeting in a magaria, a Japanese dwelling from around the late 1700s that was designed specifically for humans and horses to live side by side.
まっすぐな直線ストレートな家だったのね、すごいやと書いてストレートハウスって漢字では買うんだけど、それが、曲がり屋になってったのは、大間さんを大事にする文化が江戸時代武家社会になって、戦するのにほら馬必要でしょ。
あ、そうですね。
大型の馬。今の時代はほら小型に近い中型とか小さい馬になってるけど、昔は大きい馬。
あ、そうなんですか。
そのために馬を扱うとお金になったんだ。
ああ。Oshira-sama is the story of a girl who loved her horse so much that it enraged her father. Her father killed the horse upon learning about the loving relationship between his daughter and the animal. When the daughter found out her father had killed the horse, she went to where the horse's body was, climbed on top of it, and the two rose to heaven together. They became the deity known as Oshira-sama.
昔あったぞもな。あるどごにとどどががど、めんけおなごわらすどいだったぞもな。まだその餌、足毛の一匹のおどご馬っこ扱ってらったど。このわらさいっつも毎朝行って金土さを伺って、馬っこと話しっこしたり、鼻ずらっこなでたり、笑い声立てたりしてるんだと。
With the story fresh in our minds, we venture to the back of the magaria, through a hall filled with silk production and agriculture-related artifacts. The tunnel-like hall leads to a dimly lit, shrine-like room.
At the very back of the magaria, where we were listening to the stories earlier, there's this room that has 1,000 figures of Oshira-sama. So people come here and they write their wishes on these colorful papers, and then they put them on top of the faces. So these faces have different expressions on them, and some of these are horses too. So people have left wishes, mostly in Japanese, but there are some in English. This person said, 65歳まで働けますように. So I hope I can work until I'm 65. So that's a rather serious, maybe kind of heavy wish. Some of these are a little more, I guess this one's quite relatable. This one says, I hope that my headaches go away. Some of these others are asking for
Corona to be fixed too. There are a few of those as well. Over there I saw one wish asking for a boyfriend. That's pretty cute. But everybody can bring their own wish and leave it here.
遠野物語って何かなと思って、ほら偉い人の話、家康とか日本で言えばね、信長とか明治天皇とか、そういう人は伝記って本あるのよ。ところがこういう庶民は生まれて死んで何もないわけ。書いたものなんてないでしょ、ほとんど自費出版しない人以外はさ。だからそういう人たちのね、目次なんだって、この遠野物語って。学芸者ほら、どんなものを食べて、どんなものを着て、どんな考え方で生きてきたっていうのがね、分かるんだって。この間薬局に主人に乗せられて行って「あんた待っててね」って言って、私が降りて買い物をして、で助手席上げてポンと「待たせたね」ってふっと見たら、旦那さん別な人だったのね。運転手違う顔だったの。あらだって無言の人、すんごいびっくりして間違えてるの、私が「すみません」って別な同じ車だから一個ね、関心がないって、車って興味ないから、うちの色この色だよなと思って乗っちゃったのね。
同じようなことやっちゃいました。
あ、そう。
違う人の車に乗っちゃった。
あ、やっぱりわかる。私もやったの。そしてね、待たせたねって言って、このドライバーさん見たら、あれと思って。そして降りていって、主人の車あったから「お前何してんだ」って見てたみたいで「いやー恥ずかしい」って。だからこれ私の令和の昔話。
With pros like Tachibana-san around, the local legends are being passed on to visitors like us and to local school children. And although magaria are a thing of the past, the local horse culture continues in a more modern form. Just outside of town is Umanosato, a spot housing sport horses, the only location on Japan's main island to do so. There are still glimmers of Iwate's past evident in its present. To get a literal taste of what present-day business is like in small-town Iwate, we're off to local beer makers Tono Brewing. Owner Hakamata-san left a cushy corporate job with retailer Uniqlo to come to this tiny town and make beer. And we want to know why.
トーノ醸造という会社は、2018年の、5月に、オープンした、マイクロブルワリーで、トーノのホップとかトーノにある、地元のいい素材を使って、ビールを作って、それを、すぐ横のレストランで、お客さんに提供して、トーノのビール、ホップを楽しんでもらう、そのために作った会社。私はもともとアパレルメーカーで働いてまして、ユニクロという会社なんですけど、そこで働いていた時に、本当にやっぱりこう大量生産、大量消費の最前線で働いてて、なんかそれが自分の中ですごいもどかしいというか、虚しく感じる瞬間があって。なんかこれからの自分のこの後の人生を考えた時に、どういうことをやっていきたいかなと思ったら、少量でもいいので、自分の手で何かを作って、まさにカウンター越しに直接届けて、コミュニケーションを取れるような仕事をしたいなってずっと考えていて、その時にパッと思い浮かんだのが、学生時代からすごいビールが大好きで、世界中いろいろ飲み歩いていたのでそういう大好きなビールを自分で作って、届けることができたらすごい幸せだなと思って、ビールの仕事をしようと
すごいですね。
思いました。
じゃあもともとビールが好きで、そしてそういうなんかお客さんっていうか人と直接コネクションを作るのは大事にした。
そうですね。やっぱり比較するわけではないですけど、ユニクロの時は、その商品がどうやって作られたとか、誰が作ったとか、も もちろんそこまでは分からないですし、
はい、
どんなお客さんが買ってるのかっても1日何千人もいらっしゃるので、
はい、
分からないので、
はい、
まあ、そういうのではなくてもう自分で作ったものを自分の言葉で届けて、
はい、
例えば美味しかったとかこここうした方がもっといいよねみたいなのを楽しめたらすごい幸せだなと思います。
すごいですね。わかりました。で、
質問あります。
はい。
なんで、
はい、
トーノを選んだんですか？
そうですね、トーノを選んだ理由は2つあって、まあ、1つはやっぱりホップの産地である、原材料がすぐ近くにあって生産者さんといつでもコミュニケーションを取れるっていうのは、はい、すごくいいなと思ったのと、はい、もう1個はそのビールホップにまつわるこう地域のプレイヤーが私が来る以前にたくさんもうすでにいたので、はい、なんか自分一人じゃないっていうか仲間がたくさんいたので、はい、彼らと一緒にだったらよりこういろんな仕掛けにチャレンジできるんじゃないかなと思って、はい、トーノを選びました。
へー、すごいですね。やっぱりそうですね。なんか岩手県の中にもなんか他のビールを作っている会社があるので、はいはい、なんかトノブルーイングの味っていうかコンセプトとか、なんかビールの作り方とか、そういうなんか個人というかトーノブルーイングの味とか、そういうなんか考え方とかはありますか？そういう。
そうですね。まあ、やっぱり私たちが目指しているのはそのドリンカビリティが高いビールを、目指しているので、はい、何杯でもこうおかわりしたくなるような感じで、はい、その味の苦味とか酸味とか甘みとかのバランスが取れてて引っかかりのない綺麗なビールっていうのを目指してやってます。
わかりました。
The beer menu at Tono Brewing may look modest compared to a typical big city tap list, but the Tono Brewing team is making everything on site behind the big glass window at the back of their space. Their hops are locally sourced. Iwate is the country's largest hop-producing prefecture. We're treated to a beer made with a hop so new that the drink comes with a questionnaire about the flavors we experienced.
This is Tono Brewing's Pale Ale, recommended to us by the owner. It is a very easy to drink beer that is made with hops from the surrounding area, so secret that they're not even written on the menu. で、乾杯。
Empty.
Oh no, you have to get a beer.
I know.
Hakamada-san's aim to produce drinkable beers is evident in the final product. Beer drinkers looking for a special punch or a super hoppy pint should look elsewhere. Tono Brewing's beers are straightforward, unaffected, and easy to drink. Moreover, Tono Brewing works to collaborate with local producers and local shop owners to create new experiences for their customers. And Hakamada-san has truly worked to make every part of his company a careful choice, from the design of his restaurant down to the logo. He explains that while it can easily be understood to represent beer foam, or even the bacteria that go into creating beer, he wanted each shape in the logo to be a little bit different, to represent how individuals are all a little bit different.
岩手に住んでどうですか？
岩手いいとこですね。はい、私はすごい住みやすいと思います。はい。
で、町おこしをしようと思っています？
あまりそこは考えてはないですね。町おこしをしようっていうよりかはやっぱりこう、自分が楽しいとかこうやりたいってことをまずは突き詰めてやって仲間を増やしていって、結果としてこうちょっとでも町が楽しく盛り上がっていけばいいなと思います。例えば何か自分でチャレンジしたいみたいな人がもっとどんどん遠野とか岩手に増えていって、彼らと一緒に、我々もコラボしたりとかして、どんどんその輪を広げていったらいいなと思います。
The following day, amidst what would be record-breaking snowfall for early winter in Tohoku, we head northeast. Iwate lacks a north-south highway that cuts through the center of the prefecture, so our long drive takes us past the coast on the east. We head north, to a still snowy but less mountainous region, the source of one of Iwate's natural resources, Deus Endo, a limestone cave. Our guide for the afternoon is Mr. Takeda. He's agreed to spend some time with us to take us through the cave and teach us about what's going on.
初めてです。
初めてです。はい。
すみません。武田ですけど、お名前。
アリーシャです。
アリーシャさん。
アリーシャ。はい。
アリーシャさん。
はい。
アリーシャ。
5000メートルぐらいが、まあ、分かってる範囲が。
分かってるけど、全部を足すと5000メートルぐらいですね。
はい。
お客さんが入れるのは大体370メートルぐらい片道ですね。往復で700メートルぐらいになりますね。
Deus Endo was initially explored by a group of young, adventurous enthusiasts in roughly the 1930s. It was designated as a natural monument in Japan in 1938 for its rock formations, cool and clear spring water, and the variety of species of bats living inside. The interior of the cave is a walkable course that visitors can circuit within an hour. Initially, the focus is on rock formations throughout the cave that have been created over long periods of time as a result of the interaction between water and limestone. The rock from which the cave takes its name is also along this path.
これ竜の竜仙道の竜ですね。ああ、分かった。
わかりますね。
顔の形。
石灰岩が溶けたり固まったりの繰り返しで自然にできたやつですね。
As we progress further into the cave, the gentle slope we've been following becomes more steep, and we descend staircases to reach the very end of the area accessible to the public. 3 subterranean lakes, the depths of which have not been fully explored.
そうですね。もうダメ。落とすともうダメ。
Takeda-san explains that every year at the New Year holiday, volunteer divers come to explore a little further into the depths, something they're careful about after a diver perished exploring here decades ago.
So the guide was explaining that there are all these places on the floor that have these indentations on it, and it's actually because the water drops from the ceiling and this exact place, and it's done it so many times that it creates these indents in the floor. That's what all of these are.
I just saw it drip right into there.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what that is. It's so precise. It's not like it's just random, but it's just always in the same spot.
You better not
Creates
put
these
your
holes.
head there for 12,000 years.
I know, it's like natural, like Chinese water torture.
But the one thing we get to discover for ourselves is just how easy it is for a visitor to collide with a hibernating bat on their way out of the cave.
I almost put my head on all of them. So I realized what it was, and I was like, oh my gosh. You know,
There are 5 species of bats living in Deus Endo. They're hibernating during our visit, but in warmer months they're seen flying around the cave doing important bat business. To the best of our knowledge, we disturbed 0 bats from their wintry slumber. Our accommodations for the evening are on the coast, elevated on a hill above a coastline where the tsunami hit 10 years prior. And in the morning, after a night of even more snow, we venture down to take in the breathtaking sight of Jodohama Beach.
Jodohama is a beach on Iwate's coastline, and it's a popular summer tourist location. This is a rocky beach, including the place where you walk here, where we're standing now. But of course, in winter, today, it's covered in snow. The effect is quite interesting. These rocks are the interesting draw here. They draw people from around the prefecture and even around the country to come and visit. And these kinds of formations extend all the way up the coastline of Japan this way. So far to the north are even taller cliffs that have the same kind of rugged green-gray feel about them. Pretty cool.
Along with the craggy, beautiful views, there's a summer season sightseeing cruise and a few viewpoints where visitors can take in all the gorgeous local scenery. In winter, the sightseeing options are more limited, but if you can handle the icy sea winds and sub-zero temperatures, you'll be able to enjoy some truly spectacular and perhaps snowy oceanside views. But we've got to head off to our final destination, and it's a couple hours car drive away. Navigating the snowy mountain roads means we're taking our time on the drive, and this gives us another chance to reflect on what we've seen so far.
What's been your favorite spot so far?
I think kind San no San, when he started singing that first time, that blew me away.
Yeah, that was crazy.
There's a one single moment that made me go, whoa. How about you?
I think I was just so impressed on so many levels, like with the caves. Because when you think about, like, it was a group of like young people that were just really psyched about them. That like they were the ones that went and explored, and like they took torches and boats down there to like find those places where they could continue to like go further. Like they had to get it started, and then some people had to go in and like make those staircases and like screw all that stuff in and like put electricity in and all that stuff. Like that, to me, that's pretty amazing. So I guess I was blown away by the sheer like tenacity on display there to make that like really, really cool experience. And like, yes, I mean, to some degree part of the experience, like it's made cooler looking with those lights and like the lights that they put in there, but like by doing that, like it facilitates you, like you're able to like learn. Oh, sorry. You can go and like, because it looks cool, you go in and you're like, oh, I want to see this cool looking space, but then you learn about all these other things and how they put it all together, you know. So
it was educational.
Yeah, educational, cool looking. Yeah, and we saw bats.
And oh man, yeah, I almost ran into one. They were hanging so low. I can't believe they don't relocate them, because you know you could just reach out and grab them.
I wonder if like they wake up periodically.
I mean, I would if a bunch of people are fumbling around and going, ooh, bats.
But like you said though, somebody's bound to walk into them, just not noticing, you know, where they are.
They had that sign outside with the no taking creatures.
Yeah, they had all kinds of weird rules. You know what they should have called that?
What?
They should have called that sign.
Yeah.
Like all of those things like that you shouldn't do for Deus Endo. They should have called that the Deus Endon'ts.
I was waiting for you to come out with it.
I knew you knew I had a joke loaded and ready to fire.
You had the joke face on.
I did. Oh God, I gotta get rid of that joke face. I just get so pleased with myself. After a somewhat nerve-wracking drive through the snowy mountains, we pull up to Tomoe Die Works in the middle of light snowfall in Morioka, a city on the bullet train line in northern Iwate. From the outside, the location looks like a basic shop, selling fabric products in addition to clothes and bags. It's here we meet Tojo-san, 5th-generation operator of Tomoe Die Works, and our kind guide for our visit.
私の会社は、Tomoe専攻株式会社といいまして、この盛岡の今夜町で明治時代、1908年から続いている染め物屋になります。で私で5代目の代ですね。この盛岡は400年の歴史があるんですけども、お城があったりとか古い城下町です。でやはりうちの仕事も盛岡の古い神社の人たちから仕事をいただいたり、昔から続いているお祭りとかもたくさんあって、それの染め物の衣装とかそういうのも染めさせてもらってますね。だから盛岡の歴史とか岩手の歴史であるお祭りなんかも大体うちの会社も関わって、仕事につながっているというところです。
はい、わかりました。
The local connections that Tojo-san describes are evident not just in the workshop space, but in the location itself. As he shows us around the workspace, he takes us to the back of the dye works, where the river runs through the snow.
1613年にできた橋で、そこからずっとある川、古い川なんですけども、ここに降りて、染め物を流してたんですね。
あ、そうなんですか。
今でもしてます。
今は川流しはアリシャに頼むって言われたらやります。
ああ、嬉しいです。なんか昔にこの辺にワークショップいっぱいありまして、
ありました。そうこういう染め物屋さんがだいたい13軒ありました。この橋から この次の橋までで。
だから今夜町。
そうです。
ここは今夜町ってやっぱりお城があってから、
そうですそうそうそうそう。
その侍たちの
そうです。
衣装を
染める
藍染めするためにやってるんですか。
昔はここにもやっぱり藍染めの窯があって、藍染めばっかりしてた時代もあった。
Inside the workspace, we see the full spectrum of activities the Dye Works covers.
この部屋は手ぬぐいを染める注染っていう技術なんですけども、それを染める工場ですよね。で、うちの友江線香の、染める技術の中では一番古い染め方です。今から日本の明治時代から続けてる染色の方法です。
The whole process of dyeing happens here, from creating the template for the dye work to dyeing, washing, drying, and finishing the item. While long-standing traditional approaches are at the core of Tomoe Die Works, they've integrated contemporary technologies to meet the needs of their customers and to allow for broader artistic expression. With orders coming in from all over the country and all over the world, and with a workshop full of evidence of past creations, a place like this suggests a wealth of opportunities for artistic collaboration.
So I asked him how long it takes. Like, he's talking about like using the traditional ways of making things here. So he's saying that like they have different things that they wash the clothes, like the cloth that they're doing in, like because like the way that the color comes out, like to make sure like the dye comes out or whatever. He said that to make just one of like the banners that they're making in there today, it takes 10 days, about 10 days to make one. For a digital thing, it's like 1 day. It's quite amazing, you know? They have to go through this whole process.
個人的な話になると思うんですが、作りたいものはありますでしょうか。
こういうやっぱり染め物、私たちがやってる染め物は、なかなかそのお祭りの衣装だったりとか、そういう時しかなかなか着ないので、やはり毎日普段こう着てもらえるように洋服、今日僕が着てるのも刺し子の生地で染めた洋服なんですけども、こういう普段のその生活の中にもね、
着やすいですね。
着ていただける、毎日こう使ってもらえる製品をね、作ってますね。
わかりました。
Our visit concluded, we are kindly gifted a couple of noren of our own to enjoy in our own daily lives before hustling off to catch our train back to the big smoke.
すいません、ありがとうございます。嬉しいです。
In just a few days, we were able to cover a lot of ground in Iwate and learn a great deal about the history of the prefecture, while enjoying gorgeous scenery and meeting many wonderful people. We come away from our trip having learned more about everything from northeastern Japanese dialects to the dark history of feudal lords to subterranean lake exploration. Portions of Iwate are still in the process of rebuilding from the truly staggering incident in 2011. And there's still much to be done to continue creating better connections within the prefecture and within the rest of Japan. While we know we've only just scratched the surface of all there is to see and do up north, it was an exciting trip that only raised more interest in adventuring around Tohoku.